Hi everybody, this is Stephanie Pettis in the Rolling Studio, and of course I'm coming at you from my home because I'm not back in my truck yet, but it won't be long. I'll be back in my rig. I don't know for how long though. David and I have decided we really want me out of a truck, so we're going to be working towards getting me back home doing a regular job. So I don't know how that's going to change my crafting or videoing or whatever, but for now I'm coming at you because I wanted to take a minute to tell you what we're going to be doing today. I made a card for a lovely friend of mine, and of course I Stephanieized it, and so it's a little big for the envelope that I had. Now I made the card, I didn't cut it to any particular size, just whatever I created is what it is. And so I had an envelope that initially fit, but of course by the time I got done blinging it out and doing what I do, it didn't fit anymore. So I decided to come up with, instead of doing like a box envelope like I did for the Showgirl swap tag that I did, or not tag, but envelope that I swapped out with Pamela Oxidine, I went ahead and decided, you know, I want to do something else. And I've never made a tag before, and I know tags are the always being done. So I thought, well, how can I do this that it's different? And I don't know if anybody's done it, but I'm thinking like a giant envelope tag to put the card in, to actually put the card that I made into the tag, and maybe a pocket, maybe the whole thing, maybe a double pocket, I don't know. We'll see what I end up making, but I kind of wanted to just tell you that that's what we're going to be doing today, at least attempting to do today, so bear with me. I've never made a tag, number one, and I'm going to be doing it Stephanie's way, because, you know, that's what I do. But I hope that you take the time to sit with me, enjoy it. We'll learn together. We'll do it together. So however it needs to be, you guys, come on, let's go. Soon I'll be in the truck and we'll be rolling again too. So I'll probably be making my rolling videos as well. I don't know if I'm going to separate those from the Rolling Studio because it is still part of the Rolling Studio. I don't know. But anyways, again, just wanted to come and give you guys a minute to let you know what I'm doing. And let's go craft. Let's go craft. Okay, see you in a minute. Bye. Okay, so I decided to time-lapse this and mute out everything that I had said before because my measuring and all that got so confusing. I didn't want to confuse you, so I decided to just go with time-lapse and walk you through here and there. So here we go. Okay, so here I'm deciding on what paper doily I want to use because I'm pretty sure I'm going to incorporate it into this project. I am reading out the sentiments here and trying to choose which sentiment I'm going to use along with this Texas size pocket tag. And I've done this pocket tag because I didn't have an envelope big enough for the card that I made for a dear friend of mine, and I didn't want to make another envelope box, so I chose to create something off the wall. And I don't know if anybody's done it, but I'm doing it. So here's my Martha Stewart punch sets that I've used on this card. I used the corner punch, the border punch, my butterfly and heart punch, all for this card. I used some various trims, flowers, and I used some roses that I painted there to go along with the card. They were white once, but now they're I kind of incorporated them into the Prima paper, that rose quartz Prima paper. So I was, the card kind of went dark because I was going with the colors of this Prima. I'm pointing out here some tiny nail art gems that I used to accent on the card, and then of course I had some gems that weren't for the nails, but either way I wanted to just kind of give you a rundown. This is the second card I've ever made, and I love it, and it is for a dear friend of mine, so I won't open the inside because I'll let her read what's in there, and she's welcome to read it out loud if she chooses to do that, if she makes a video. But I'm pretty sure this is the sentiment that I'm planning to use on my Texas size pocket tag. So I wanted to incorporate what I had with the card with the opposite of the colors in the Prima pad. I used the light Prima paper on the card, so I'm going to use the darker rose quartz on the pocket tag. Here, listen, I don't have a template. I'm guessing at what I'm doing. I had explained all this when I was making the video, but I put so many confusing, because I didn't even know what I was doing. But it finally turned out that the measurements were 1.5 inch, and then 1/2 inches and 3 inches, and I had some trouble figuring it out when I made this template, but now that I've done it, I may do another one with some clear instructions, but you'll get the idea anyway of what I've done here, because it took me a few rounds to figure it out. And I'm sorry that the film is sideways. I don't know what was up with my camera, because I had it set to where it would do the normal videotaping, but apparently it didn't flip like it was supposed to. And you'll see there I was writing down the 1 inch and the 1.5 inch folds that I was making. This is a 12 by 12 card stock Prima, the Prima rose quartz, and you'll see that I cut the tabs. I'm really literally thought I was making the full tag, but I ended up just making the pocket of the tag right here. So it turned out that the tag was 9 inches across once the pocket, this is the pocket itself, and I think it was 7.5 the other way, so might have been 9 wide and 7.5 tall, or vice versa. I don't remember, but you'll just see that I just kind of wing it because I don't have a template. This, to my knowledge, it, you know, I've just never seen it done this big. I'm sure there's videos out there that'll teach you how to make a pocket. I was just doing it, you know, Steph's way. Because I only watch a few videos. If I get an idea in my head, I'll try to get some knowledge if I don't know, but a lot of times I just go for it, just because it's a thought process in my own mind. Sometimes I'll try to get out there and look and see if I can figure out, you know, maybe a measurement, or not even a measurement, but maybe how it's basically folded or whatever. But this time I just went for it for sure. And I don't know, like I said, if anybody's done this Texas size pocket tag, but I thought it was a really cool idea because, again, I made a card, didn't have the envelope size. Well, it was before I finished, you know, blinging it out and Stephanie eyes in it. So I ended up making this pocket tag. So anyways, you'll see that I am just folding it up here. And again, this was the rose quartz Prima paper. And what I was trying to do is I was trying to make sure that I had a gap that would fit my card in there without squishing the flowers on them. So I was actually making it more difficult than it needed to be. I was trying to square it off almost like a pocket envelope, but then I realized I didn't want, a box envelope. I didn't want the box. I wanted a pocket. So once I figured it out, I'm like, okay, I just need to lay it flat. It will pocket itself out with the folds that I already had, and you'll see that here in a second. There it is. See, I mean, it's literally a pocket. It lays flat. It pops open because I did make a 1/2 inch gap. And even though I laid the bottom side of it where I'm gluing it here flat, and I'm brush gluing some tacky glue on there, it still made it for an opening, and it was awesome. And then I was like, wait a minute, this is supposed to be a tag. But it fit my card in there. It did great, and I'm like, okay, well, now that I've made a pocket and not a tag, I need to attach a tag, or the pocket, to a tag so I could make it actually look like a tag. So I had to figure some things out. Like I said, I was winging it. but it did fit. I was happy with that. So what I've chosen to do is get in another exact 12 by 12. I was trying to decide if I was going to keep it the same look or choose a different background for the tag part, but I liked incorporating the thing as a solid unit, symmetrical, so I went with the same color to pocket it out to make it look like one unit as a tag. And then I thought, well, I can embellish it to change, you know, the look or, you know, whatever. So the goal was to get this measured up, centered. And so basically it's a 12 by 12 pad. So with that lip on it, if you'll notice, I left the border with the hole out of the tag, out of the paper pad, because I wanted to use that hole as my tag hole. I didn't have to worry about punching it. It already had a hole. So all I needed to do was find the center and then lop off those corners. And that's exactly what I end up doing here, as you'll see. And I hope you're enjoying the music too. That is one thing that I do. I try to create my own music for the background on my videos. There's some that, of course, are not mine, but this particular one is mine. I made this off the an app, an Android app on my phone, and it's called Music Maker Jam. And it is a little difficult to figure out, but once you do, it's a lot of fun. And so I like to make my own music. And this music I had actually made when I was first learning how to make it. So I didn't know all the shortcuts and all the editing tricks at the time. So I didn't know how to shorten a particular loop on it. So I learned, but I did learn how to fade and bring some stuff in. So my newer music has a lot more editing in it, but this is one of my first ones. And this song is called Cool D Jazz. Yeah, Cool D Jazz. There's a reason for that name, but it is cool, and it's jazzy, and David is his name. So I named it Cool D Jazz. So I hope you're enjoying the music. And you'll see here that I am centering my pocket onto the Prima. There you go. So the hard part's over, and now it's just time to figure out how in the world I am going to put this together. I took this laces right here that you're looking at, and I actually got these beautiful laces out of the FLAIRBY mermaid kit, and I haven't used any of them, and I thought, you know, I've never really used laces in my project other than some trim. And so I had a little bit that I wanted to use. I didn't want to use it all, so I used it sparingly. And I actually made my own alcohol shimmer mist ink, which you can't see the shimmer too much on this project, but I probably need to put some more mica powder in it. But I did dye those laces myself because they were white, and I needed more pink, more of that quartzy pink, or just some off pink, just to incorporate it. So you'll see the pink that you see in here, I have dyed. You'll notice I cut that one particular trim off at the edge so that I didn't waste it, and I don't like wasting things. And though I was gonna layer it, I needed it to be a little more layered, but I cut off only the edge off the other side of that trim, and then you just watched me dye it up some of that pink. So there you go. That's how I incorporated that. Okay, I jumped up a little forward and did a little decorating off camera. Just because, you know, life gets in the way, you think you're filming and you're not, and you know how it goes. So anyways, for the most part, you'll see a pretty good bit of it on film. I actually got this metal looking, chrome looking trim. It's plastic trim. It comes in a very large roll. I got it from Hobby Lobby. I think I got it, it was like a $14, $15 roll, but I got it on sale for half off. So yeah, it was pretty cool trim, and it's real thick, but you can trim it to size. So you can take and make it one little trim, or 4, 5, 6 different trims. You can make it as thick as you want. I just cut them in single layers on that silver trim there, and it is plastic. Also off camera, I made some dangles. Well, here, let me just shut up a minute. I'm making, off that butterfly, it needed something. So I went with my pearl dangles to create designs onto the little tulle style butterfly that I got in the FLAIRBY kit, the mermaid kit. She had some beautiful light blue butterfly cutouts. So I ended up inking those as well, and I'm probably getting in trouble with all these words, but I don't care, whatever. I'm here just to show you guys what it's about and what I've done. Yep, there it is, upside down. Now see, I don't even know how that happened, because I keep my camera one way, and why this thing is upside down, I don't know. Oh, but you know, whatever. I'll just have to pay more attention to what my camera's doing. Sorry. What you didn't see is I put some silver garlandy style trim all the way around the pocket of the tag, and now I'm taking another small trim and continuing a trim around that tag itself to give it some structure of hiding sharp edges. And also, what you didn't see me do was add the embellishments that you see right there in that top corner there. That is actually some bling that I got from Michael's. and it's actually from the jewelry department. So that was that, and of course, you know, I cut those doilies off and cut them in half instead of putting them to the back and wasting that half. I cut them for another project down the road so that I'd have the other half instead of putting them to the back where nobody's going to see it anyway. But I did cover the mess with some more trim. Now we're sideways. This is the Martha Stewart corner punch I was talking about. I love the plank wood look on the back of that sentiment, but I really wanted to design and make that incorporated into the card that I made my friend. You'll notice I'm using a little Mod Podge. Actually, I think it might have been the tacky glue. No, it's Mod Podge. I wanted to toughen up the back of this tag, the backing of this tag, give it a little shimmer look for a leathery style. And here I made these charm dangles for this project. I just thought it needed something to dangle from, so I put some chain and I made those three different charms that you see. Now here's an easy way to make a rose. I learned this style off, there's several different videos out there how to make different styles of roses. But one that I watched particularly that really helped me out a lot was a fellow crafter of ours, and I think a lot of you know who she is. Her name is Liz Benavides, and she's Crafty Devotions, and she showed this particular technique. And so I know that there are other videos out there because she even mentioned she recently learned this technique. But since I saw it on her channel, I wanted to give her the credit of where I got this from. So Liz, thank you for that particular technique. And I used it on small ribbon because I wanted some small little roses. And I like, well, I don't have a huge rose selection, but I just wanted that pink ribbon that I had to really pop out my project. So there you go. And I will put a link in the description box of that particular video that Liz Crafty Devotion, Liz Benavides created, and help you out with some detailed instruction. Okay. As you can see, I had to redo it, but I ended up doing it off camera. And I know you're supposed to knot the end, but I decided to, of course, and I didn't film it, I decided with the remaining and see, I hate the way this thing recorded with that trifocal deal, but when I was off camera, I decided to get my dit out, which is my glue tool, and I took the remaining of the felt ribbon that I had there and made a more thicker round body around the original rose. So I did Stephanie-ize it too, just a little bit. Don't know how other people do it, but that's what I did. And here I'm trying to choose a center for my rose. I had put a small pearl in the center of that, and then I'm like, you just can't even see it, so I wanted something a little more extreme. So those big giant pink pearls right there, which I was thinking about doing what you saw me doing, but I decided, nope, we need a bigger one there. So, oh, here's the little pearl, and then I'm like changing my mind later, watch. I hate that my camera's sideways. I do apologize. I tell you, I think I'm doing all right, and then, you know, you go back and there it is. But you can't really undo it. Here I'm putting on my ribbon for the tag, and I'm double knotting it, and then I finish it off with a couple of more bead dangles that I created, and you'll see that here in a minute. I was explaining the card, talking about the card, and it fits in there nicely. This is such a nice pocket tag. I don't know if you guys will be inspired by this, but it was my very first tag to ever make, number one. Number two, it was a large one, because everything's bigger in Texas. Yeehaw! So the nice thing about this pocket tag, this oversized Texas size pocket tag, is that it left me room to put goodies in it. And so that's what I chose to do. So not only was it a card tag for the pocket holder, it turned out to be a goodie holder. So I hope she enjoys it. She gets a little more goodies, and this is just wonderful. I love it. I hope you did too, and I hope that I inspired you. You guys take care, and I'll talk to you soon, and hopefully you'll see me on my next video. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to watch, thumbs up, and all that good stuff. So God bless, take care, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.